Hi guys, it's Carlos and Mike here at Ultimate Fitness Training 24/7, the Ford Unlock once again, and today we are doing Ask the Trainer Show. And obviously thank you for watching the video, and Mike's going to basically ask me a couple of questions that I don't know what they are, but basically questions that often we as trainers get asked, that it's kind of like the most topic questions that we get asked. So basically over to Mike.
Okay then, Carlos. Normally when people come up to me, they always ask me the questions, how do you eliminate body fat?
Okay, good. That's a great question. Now, there's two ways of looking at this, right? And this is one thing that it kind of overwhelms people, body fat. Okay, now if you've got body fat, okay, it's because you're consuming too many calories. More calories than your body needs, simple as that. Now, people do say, oh, but I don't eat that much. Look, it's that same thing, right? If I want nothing in my hand here, right, and I've got 1,000 pounds on my left hand, if I look there, there's nothing, right? Now, if all of a sudden someone puts 1,000 pounds there, I've got something there, right? Exactly the same with calories. Now, if you're not eating anything, you can't put weight on, okay? Now, if that person takes 1,000 pounds away, the 1,000 pounds has disappeared. If they put 1,000 pounds there, it's 1,000 pounds back. Same with calories. Now, people say they don't eat anything, but they're still fat. It's bullshit, okay? The only people that got a bit of an excuse on that is people that have got thyroid problems. So that's kind of a whole different sort of ball game. But 9 times out of 10 with the normal humans that have got no medical conditions, the simple reason is you're eating too many calories to what you consume, the ratio. So you need to basically minimize your calorie intake, maximize your calorie outtake, and you'll start losing weight. Now, I'm not saying you're not losing muscle as well, you may be losing muscle too. Your training might be all over the gaff, but you will lose weight based on having a calorie deficiency and having a maximizing calorie outtake. And that really eliminates body weight and body fat, as well as obviously muscle mass as well. Okay, but that's just to simplify things really. Obviously, I can go on and on and on about how to actually do that scientifically correct in terms of how to minimize body fat and maximize muscle toning. So, but that's another video for us, yeah? Okay? Does that explain?
That does explain.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Next question is coming from the opposite end of a lad perspective. Okay. How do we put on muscle mass?
Okay, that's another question that we as trainers, to be fair, get asked all the time. How do you put on muscle mass? Now, that is another thing that we all talk about. I mean, loads of guys love to look proper pumped up, tanked up with the top, and they look massive, okay? You take the top off in a great big belly in front of themselves and basically don't see anything, okay? Now, muscle can be a bit of an illusion. And I'll give you an example. Now, I've done this video last week about this. If you look at any bodybuilder that go on stage, or even muscle models that go on stage, I've done that myself. You actually see me on stage, or even like on a photo shoot, I will be at my weakest and smallest ever, because you are ripped. So you can't go on stage 21 stone, 22 stone, unless you're like a freak of nature. And a lot of the big guys, I'll give you an example, Dexter Jackson for instance, he goes on stage at 14 stone. Obviously he's competing for the Olympia at 14 stone, believe it or not. I know he's only short, but it's all 14 stone. So it's not a lot of weight. Most people are 14 stone. Most guys out there in the gym are more, probably some of them are even bigger than 14 stone. So you can really relate that ratio. Now when it comes to actually put muscle on, obviously your training needs to match that criteria. So obviously you need to train obviously quite heavier in order to break down muscle tissue, in order to obviously stay anabolic. Obviously that's one of the main things. So the training stimulus is a massive one. The other one is obviously your training has to match your diet, and your diet must match your supplementation and so forth. Obviously those 3 things run parallel. So your training, your diet, and your supplementation, and obviously as well as your rest, needs to basically run parallel to each other. Okay, now obviously you need to be taking 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight in terms of calories, in terms of calorie protein, in terms of carbs. This is one thing I'm massive on, about carb macros. Obviously I'm just giving you an idea in terms of 1.5 grams, but this is kind of like a guideline really for people to put weight on. This can differ on people, whether they're mesomorphs or endomorphs or ectomorphs. Someone that is ectomorph needs a little bit more calorie protein, okay, in calorie carbs, in fats as well, in order to basically get that obviously boost of muscle to grow. And this is something that obviously a lot of the guys obviously don't know how to train so well, struggle, because they'll be in the gym, the diet won't be great, and they still struggle to put weight on, and they feel sore, and they work to failure and they're still not growing. The reason what it is because their energy outtake, they're spending too much time in the gym and not spending enough time into the right foods in order to grow. And that's why it kind of it can get really sort of like confusing and hard for people to put muscle mass without realizing. And I always say, when I sit down with my clients, I make sure that the diet, the training, and the supplementation and the rest runs parallel to what they're actually doing in the gym. Okay, so but I don't want to bore you with too much information. Really, pure and simple. That's more or less what you can obviously explain now.
Yeah. Last question. What I always get asked most of the time is protein shakes good to have after, before, during? Just protein shakes in general.
Okay, now protein shakes, right? This is a massive thing, right? Don't think about protein shakes are fantastic. Okay, now, but if you're eating whey protein, a lot of whey protein comes from obviously whey, and whey is, as you guys know, comes from dairy. Dairy, 30%, 40% is mucus of the cow, and there's a lot of lactate there, and there's a lot of toxins there, and there's a lot of, if you like, acidic liquid there, which is bad for your organism. Okay, now for the guys that just want to look strong and want to look a little bit more muscular, yes, I would advise that, but I basically take organic protein. What I mean by that is organic protein is a lot more cleaner protein, is less processed, and is a lot better for your intestine, and it gets absorbed to your system a lot quicker and better. Now, to answer that question a little bit better and a little bit into more detail is, a lot of people tend to find themselves stuck on protein. I've got to have X amount of protein shakes. Now, what I do when I compete, I take all the protein away in terms of liquid protein, and I put in terms of solid proteins. I change my chicken to turkey, which is a dry meat, which basically solidifies my muscle. It makes my muscle look a lot harder and drier, which is the look that is basically in terms of actually getting into pre-contest physique is like, but you need to do that. So I stop the dairy. So dairy makes you feel obviously bloated, and it makes you look bloated, it makes you hold water. So I take that all away, and I'll replace that with turkey, tilapia, which is a great fish as well, and salmon. Okay, that's why it's all organic, obviously, foods. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay then. Cool. And another question I always get asked about is, how much cardio should I be doing a week?
Okay, now this is how long is a piece of string. Or so if I'm looking at someone that needs to lose body weight versus the amount of weight that they have versus the amount of calorie expenditure they do in a day, you give a certain advice. And this is why it's almost like a £1 million question, you know, because it's like, people say, oh, just do an hour, or do 30 minutes, or just do 2 hours, or do 3 hours. Everyone is different. Like, if you're looking in front, if you've got someone in front of you who's 20 stone, and they have a desk job, and they eat 3,000 calories a day, they've got to make sure that they're burning those 3,000 calories somewhere, because if they're sitting down all day, you know, moving their fingers, they aren't going to move their body. So they've got 3,500 calories to burn. So they have to do a certain amount of cardio and body fat reduction to do that. Now, the other thing as well with cardio, and this is a massive problem in the video we're going to do. A lot of people, what is cardio? What is fat burning? Now, this is a lot of guys. I see these guys on a treadmill, boom, 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 running like crazy, man, as if they're being possessed, you know. And that's not going to actually burn body fat that well, because what it does is it basically gets your glycogen levels up, burning. So it activates a lot of fast tissue muscle fibers, which is going to break down a lot of muscle tissue, not necessarily fat burning. So power walking is more powerful in terms of actually not getting you fit. It's not going to get you fitter, but it's going to get you to burn body fat and save your muscle. So if you guys want to look really simply, burn body fat, get on incline treadmill, okay, and walk fast. That is the best you can do to burn body fat. Don't take me wrong, you can go on your bike, you can go on a row, you can go on a cross trainer, you can do all that. But if you look at all the guys that compete, they get on a treadmill and off they go for an hour, and that's what I do. And obviously I can actually, and I've put on YouTube my breakdown in terms of my preparation for pre-contest. It starts from 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes. It goes all the way up to an hour and a half as I get closer to stage. And that's how it works. But there's a process. So now, if someone comes up to me and says, Carlos, how many calories do you have to do? And if I just say an hour, literally, I'm like, it's almost like, you're picking a number out of the box, you know. There's no, you know, you've got to be specific. The person needs to sit down with you. You need to understand what they're eating. You need to understand what they do. You need to understand what the trainer's like, and then you define how much cardio they need to do. Otherwise, it's just guessing. Yeah.
Okay then. And another question is, how long should I spend in the gym?
Okay. Again, for how long should you spend? Some people say an hour, some people say 40 minutes, some people say 2 hours. Look, I see all things. I've been in gyms since I was a boy. Literally, I've seen people training 3 hours. I've seen that. In fact, believe it or not, I've seen a guy, and I'm not going to name what gym he used to go to. He used to be there for 5.5 to 6 hours sometimes. And I used to finish my clients sometimes think, shit, this guy is still here. You know, it's crazy shit. But he used to do that every single day, and he didn't look nothing as if he never lifted a weight in his life. But anyway, it's all based on how much you need to do. So if you're a triathlete, for instance, you've got to replicate what you do on a triathlon, so you'll probably be there a lot longer than someone who's a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder might be there 30-40 minutes stimulation. Within 40 minutes you want to be out of there, because if you stay too long in the gym, you're burning muscle tissue for energy. So you're lifting weights for the sake of lifting weights, so you're burning muscle for energy. It's pointless. Now if you do, powerlifting, it's different. You know, powerlifters, they rest a lot, because they always say they've got to maximize their 1 rep max and stuff like that. So that's different. So they stay probably a bit longer. But if you're the build muscle guys, it's intensive. It's 40 minutes. If you speak to any muscle model or bodybuilders, they don't train more than 40 minutes a day. But when they train. They're not there like picking their nose or talking to birds on the phone or talking to people. They are there to work hard, and that's key. But I do see a lot of people making a lot of mistakes. Hence the reason why I keep saying your training, your regime, your diet, your supplementation, and your rest must run parallel to what you want to achieve. It all depends what you want to achieve. Not everyone wants to look muscular. Not everyone wants to get fit out. Some people draw to just be slim, you know? So that's different. So they can overtrain. Some people that want to get muscle, overtraining can kill you. Because obviously what it can do is it can actually rob muscle for energy. So it's kind of like, it's a whole, and we as trainers get this all the time. I mean, one of the most questions I get is, how long will it take? I've never been in the gym. How long will it take? Oh, 2 weeks. Am I? And I say, listen, I'm not a miracle worker. I can't do that. I can change a little bit in 2 weeks. You probably get stronger. You do more reps. You do more training. You feel better. But you can't change the body's physique in 2 weeks. Come on. We're not that good. We're not that good at all. But I hope that answers.
Yeah, that answers quite well. Anyway, thank you for everyone for watching this video.
Cool guys, so it's Carlos and Mike here once at Ask the Trainer Show. We're going to start doing this basic video quite often. So we'll be able to, you guys can actually put on requests for us on YouTube, what questions you like to be answered. Obviously we're not coming across as some sort of experts. Me and Mike have been in the industry for a very long time, but we're not here to tell you how great we are. We're here just to help you guys become your greatest versions, as well as making ourselves becoming our greatest versions. So with all that said guys, you know how to find me on Instagram, Carlos Trainer 10, on YouTube, Carlos Trainer, on my website, which is www.ultimatefitnesstraining.co.uk. And with all that said, stay happy, stay healthy, stay fit, have a good day. Bye now.